cooler, but I'm expecting it
It
chill.
does. It does.
And I
get,
haven't gotten that yet.
It does get cooler in my area.
Okay.
Yeah. All right. Let's get right into the big three this amazing Tuesday afternoon. Quite a number of interesting stories. As a matter of fact, there's this one that looks like a fresh breaking news, and it is quite an interesting, if I can put it like that, interesting story. We see something here. 2027 election already concluded. 26 assembly tickets in my pocket. Akwa Ibom speaker says. 2027 election already concluded. 26 assembly tickets in my pocket. The Akwa Ibom State House of Assembly speaker says. So, the speaker of the Akwa Ibom House of Assembly, Udeme Otong, sparked public outrage by publicly declaring that the outcome of the 2027 legislative elections has already been decided. Ladies and gentlemen, been decided in 2025 December, claiming that he has the power to determine who within the APC in the state will be elected into the assembly. Now, in a viral video circulating widely on Facebook, hopefully it is not actually AI, hopefully it is not doctored, Mr. Otong was seen boasting that no one would become a member of the Akwa Ibom House of Assembly without his approval. The speaker made the remarks during a courtesy visit by the Ibom Grassroots Development Initiative, a political group, to his country home in Abak Itenge to mark his birthday this year. And I'm quoting him now. It says, but he was speaking in a native dialect, but I'm quoting in English. Translated to English, all the tickets are already in my pockets, Mr. Otong said in the video, speaking in his Anang dialect. Again, he says, quoting, all the 26 House of Assembly tickets are already in my pocket. I single-handedly negotiated for them. No one else did. I will personally choose who becomes a House of Assembly member and hand the ticket to the person from my pocket, he said. End of quote. So the Akwa Ibom State has 26 lawmakers in the State Assembly. All were members of the PDP until June this year, when 24 of them defected, along with the governor, Umo Eno, to the APC. So the governor said that he consulted widely, including with the legislature, before leaving the PDP.
Okay. All right. So, yes, I mean, right off the bat, I read the story and I thought, yeah, not too much of a surprise there. I mean, I while I was going through that range of emotion, while I was going through that emotion, I was going through another range of emotions altogether, which is pretty much just anger and disappointment at what our politicking has become in this country. Now, you know, some of you would already be thinking, oh, yeah, after all, is that not the way it's done? I mean, you consider the fact that ever since this year, or even since last year, we've been seeing a wave of movements, but more intensely this year, a wave of movements going to the leading party or the party in power, APC. And so I think perhaps this particular speaker's statement, he probably did not know that it was going to be put out on social media. Perhaps he would have been a little more cautious. But I don't think that this is different from many other consultations and statements that are going on concerning 2027, especially with the flooding that is happening into APC. And so yes, that would be me not being surprised by the move, but also being aghast by how careless this statement was. Now, if you watch the video, you would even think, oh, there would have been some sort of kickback or pushback from the people who he was addressing. No, when he made the statements, he got rousing applause. Like, they were applauding him. The people at the meeting that he was addressing, there was rousing applause. I think at some point, some other person even got up, to say one or two things. At that point, my understanding of the language faded out completely, but you could tell that this is what the structure of our politicking is looking like. Come back again to statements that the governor made before he left or when he was leaving. He said he consulted, including with the legislature, the same legislature that got up and moved with him, and in the same legislature that is apparently being led by this man who is making the statement. I really don't think that there's any surprise there. But what would I think would always make me upset is the tendency for us, the people who these State House of Assembly members are supposed to be representing, all the way up to the governors of this state, just sit back and think, after all, it's 2027. At a point post 2023, when Nigerians were unhappy with the turnout of results and everything, they said, anyway, let's wait until 2027. At this rate, I don't know what we're looking forward to in 2027, because there's this entire hijack, whether it is intentional or unintentional, whether it is because they want to be close to the center or not close to the center. And then you see this happening, and then the speaker of an entire State House of Assembly comes out to talk about how everything has been decided already. Really, I believe that it's not going to be any different, especially in all the states where you had the governors and the State House of Assembly members move. I don't think that they're having any different kind of conversation. The question that I would be asking at this time, and remains on my mind, and I'm pondering it even by myself when I'm at home, is so what then are we going to do as the people to right this wrong? Because this is such a wrong that is being done.
It is terrible, Somi. It's terrible, Somi. I only have one problem. You see, I have issue with Nigerians when they say they have voter apathy. Now, a speaker of a State House of Assembly is saying this. Sir, are you saying that people should not come out? We should not bother coming to vote.
He's saying that even if you come out to vote,
then people should. Why conduct election? Why are they wasting everybody's time?
At this rate, even if you come out to vote, but
if they know,
how can this be our 2027?
If they know that as an election for 2027 has been decided in December 2025, I hope, if this is confirmed to be true, I know that you cannot sack an elected officer in office, but I hope that.
What do you mean you can't sack an elected officer?
You can't. Is like you can't sack an elected, not an appointed. He was elected into office.
Are you talking about the speaker now?
The speaker, yes. So I hope he's been recalled. I don't know if you can impeach a speaker. But my point exactly is this, Somi. This is terrible. This is terrible. All shades of terrible. It's wrong. And as a citizen looking at this, if I were to be in the said state, maybe I shouldn't bother to come out and vote. If you're telling me that an election for 2027, all the seats have been determined. So people react in two ways to news like this. It's either just okay, there's no point now, since I don't choose who go date the office. Let's not bother. So if we just go ahead, we shouldn't even have let's not waste money.
What's the other way that you imagine that people react to this
come out en masse and fight this. Come out and say, every single person you endorse, we are going to vote against. We want to prove a point to you people that you cannot look at Nigerians in the face and call us idiots. Because that's what these people are doing. That's what they are doing. And that is why, Somi, now, high stakes political meetings now. Do you know that you drop your phone at the gate? Now.
That's why I said
now in Abuja now.
The speaker
that's a new law now.
Did not know that he was being recorded, and perhaps he knew, but he didn't just imagine that it would be put out.
That is the norm.
But then again, it's also possible that he knew he was being recorded. He knew it was going to be put out. But it's a question of and then what happens? If it gets out, what will happen?
I don't even care whether he knows or not. All I'm saying is that this is for Nigerians to see, consume, and realize. Like I said, it's two things. We have got to realize that this is what we are putting up with. People who have sold our future even before we get to the future. You have determined all those that represent the state at the legislative level in 2027, in December 2025.
Probably before then.
It is a
probably
boldness for
happened.
me.
It probably happened around the time that the state governor, alongside the entire State House of Assembly, moved on, because some of the speculations about why you see these movements en masse is that some of these lawmakers have been promised automatic return tickets for the 2027 general election in exchange for joining the governor that is moving to APC. That is some of the speculation that you have coming out. And so these people are like, oh, well, as long as it guarantees me another goal or, around the block, no problem. I will do it. Nobody's questioning. Nobody is taking to task. Nobody's challenging. I mean, it says 24 of the 26 moved. It's not clear right now what happened to the other two, or if their voices, if they even made any kind of a case, or if their voices were heard or whatever. But again, it is just how dire the situation is right now. Also, Mr. Otong, the Speaker of this State House of Assembly, is said to be serving his second term in the Assembly. Chances are that if he's the gatekeeper for who gets to come in, chances are that perhaps he gets to do a third term as well. He was seen saying that the tickets will be given to individuals with whom the governor will be comfortable working with.
Can you imagine?
Yes. And again, just like I said earlier.
Is that what we are doing now?
Just like I said earlier, I don't think it's a now thing.
Like, is that what we are doing now? Like,
I don't think it's a now thing. I mean, if you look at the way politics is in many states across the country, even as far back as 2019, 2023, there's always that thing about the governor is the one who determines, the outcome of elections that are coming up next. So whether it's State House of Assembly, whether it is what do you call it, appointments, whatever it is. Sometimes it is whether it is who will even run and emerge as the party flag bearer for any other positions, even governor. Sometimes they'll be like, okay, yes, just like we had with the Wike Fubara situation.
Yeah.
That whole thing.
Yeah.
So it's not a now thing. But I think it's even more worrisome now because of the fact that we're pretty much moving into a one-party
as at June this year, this man was in PDP.
We are aware of that. We've talked about
as at June this year. I'm just trying to let it sink in.
Okay.
I'm just trying to ruminate on the information. This man, as at June this year, he was in PDP shouting PDP power. June this year, this man was shouting PDP power. Now, he's in the APC, and I do not have a business about the political parties, right? I mean, we already know what they are. They are simply vehicles, empty vehicles. You want to just change direction, enter the car. Simple. Now he's claiming that he has. So, for me, I'm looking at this, and I think, like I said yesterday, Somi, I said Nigerians, we don't have a breaking point. We don't have something that gets us so angry. And I said, no, this thing cannot be again. We don't. I mean, I don't know. I saw this. The more I think about it, the more I talk about it, the more provoked I get.
Okay.
Because this is an abuse. Is an insult on the sensibility of Nigerians.
So we need to
It's an insult on the sensibility of people in Akwa Ibom State. It means, what this means is that come 2027 and beyond, Akwa Ibom people should not expect things to be done in our constituencies. Why? Because these people did not solicit for votes. They know how they got the ticket. They know how they paid for it. They went and begged somebody. They took 100 million naira perhaps. I'm not saying for sure here. But they went to someone's house and prostrated and begged. I beg, give me this ticket. That's what the man is saying here. And I'm saying, since when did we have a legislative arm that must be agreeable? Not say you can criticize and still work with someone. You can criticize and still work with someone. But since when did it become a marriage between the legislative and the executive? Since when did it become a marriage?
Well, obviously the tide has turned, and as far as how, because I also started the analysis talking about how I was upset, but I'm hoping that by the time we open up the phone lines, we can move past the point of provocation and talk about what we can do to ensure that we get the outcome that we want come 2027. Because again, sometimes